What is so African about African art? During a traditional Dogon burial and Dama mask ceremony, the Dama dance is performed to help the dead make their passage to the afterlife. The masks used in the Dama dance are symbolic representations of the animals and people that are spiritually potent in the Dogon culture. The body of a Dogon villager is hoisted hundreds of feet up the Bandara escarpment and laid in the ancient caves of the Telem. Once every 12 years, the Dogon hold a Dama or communal funeral ceremony to honor the passing of deceased villagers into the afterworld. Masks representing all aspects of the Dogon culture enter the village to drive out any remaining spirits that might bring chaos into the community. Dogon dancers perform with Kanga masks at Doma ceremonies honoring the dead, rotating their upper bodies from the hips and swinging the mask in wide circles. The dancers imitate Amma, the creator god, who brought all things to life. Their outstretched movements symbolically spread the force of life throughout the world. The Bambara or Bama people are a Amanda people living in West Africa, primarily in Mali, but also Guinea. They are amongst the largest Mande group and are the dominant Mande group in Mali with 80% of the population. Mats here were used for various reasons, some to heal, others for good luck, and some to call on different spiritual powers. At many rituals, initiates and elders wore masks or carried card-woven figures. The masks resemble human faces or real animals, where surfaces were decorated with linear designs. Bama masks date back to the early 19th century. Boys who were too young to belong to men's societies had their own associations, such as Nadoma, in which they performed with their own distinctive masks. Using his photos to document the experiences taking place in South Africa, Ernest Cole used his photos as a microscope into what the Africans in South Africa had to endure with characteristic dignity during apartheid. Ernest Cole, a photojournalist born in 1940 in First West Pretoria, was a South African photographer. In 1958, Cole obtained a job working for Drum magazine. Here, he began to mingle with other talented young black South Africans. Seeking to leave South Africa, he became reclassified as colored. As a result, he was able to leave for New York in 1966. He secretly took with him his apartheid project prints. Showing his work to Magnum Photos resulted in a publishing deal, birthing the book House of Bondage in 1967, which was banned in South Africa. In the book, Cole writes, 300 years of white supremacy in South Africa has placed us in a bondage, stripped us of our dignity, robbed us of our self-esteem, and surrounded us with hate. Many, if not all, of Cole's work portrayed the life of fellow African Americans. Each of these messages relayed a message of care and compassion for his race in many different ways, symbolizing struggles and joys. Through use of her skillful techniques of collages, Wangechi Moto shows the depiction of women in mysterious forms. Throughout a lot of traditional African art, women are put on a pedestal and idolized through various art forms. Women in Africa are viewed symbolically as Mother Africa, which is why Moto portrays her woman with large breasts and rear ends, also putting a strong emphasis on facial features to symbolize, among other things, their fertility and femininity, taking Wangechi's art to the next level, portraying women as beautiful godly beasts and exaggerating on a lot of predominantly African female features. Lynetta Yiadom Bakoy, an African American painter born and working in London. Through her work, she often emphasizes on the female figure, like Wangechi Moto, but through a simpler approach. Within Yiadom Bakoy's paintings, she portrays her African figures in European poses and settings, but still makes their African heritage and character equally apparent with the idealistic African features, dark skin, and facial features. The simplicity of her paintings make it more evident on her content, symbolizing many different things through her art. In her exhibit at the Jack Shaman Gallery entitled The Love Within, she focuses on fictional figures that exist outside of specific times and places. Famu Piku, an American painter based in Atlanta, Georgia, whose intention is to comment on contemporary and hip hop culture while simultaneously subverting it to indulge in his idea of confined art. Famu Piku's work speaks for itself and talks to the masses with this message. Focusing on how blacks are represented in today's media, Piku's art symbolizes the many African Americans who are wrongly misjudged and categorized because of their skin color. Famu Piku work shines light on. Viewing a lot of Piku's work, we can get a clear sense on how generalized one culture can be shown through art.